there's something that can put an even bigger smile on all of our faces, and that is Sam Maggs. Sam Maggs, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I
Yeah?
love New York Comic Con, so always a great time.
How's your con been so far?
So great. Yeah, it's only Thursday, and it's already so busy here, which is kind of wild. But I love it. There's such a great energy to conventions, and it's always a great time.
And this is kind of a big week for you.
It is a big week for me. I had a book come out this week.
Yeah.
Kind of wild. It's called Girl Squads. It's with Quirk Books. It's about 20 female friendships that changed history. So everything from, the first female singer-songwriters in medieval France to the Vietnamese sisters who defended their country on elephant back in the year 1000 to the first all-female orchestra in Afghanistan, which is happening right now.
Wow.
So,
Which I love because you hear a lot about women first. Like, you hear a lot about the first woman to do X, the first woman to do Y, but you don't really hear about a good girl gang. Like, you don't hear about what their squad looked like or when they had a squad. And it's so cool.
I mean, I think a lot about A-Force, the Marvel, which is one of my favorite Marvel comics, because I think so often it's like you see in movies there's like a bunch of dudes and then like the girl, but that's not really how it is in real life, right? All women have like great team-ups, and so it's been really fun to write about women cooperating instead of competing.
What was your favorite team up from the book?
Oh,
if you could
that's a hard
if you could
question.
choose one that you really, really like, a whole bunch. We won't say favorite.
Okay, I appreciate that. I think it would be the 1964 Japanese women's Olympic volleyball team, which doesn't sound like maybe it would be very politically or culturally significant, but in fact, like, they changed the history of their country in a lot of ways. So,
Wow.
super interesting. Yeah.
I'm a big-time Japanophile, and so I love having those kind of like tidbits of information.
Yes.
I feel like the Japanese are always doing like something that's like understated and extremely cool, like having a great women's volleyball team. That sounds so perfectly
They
Japanese.
invented their own move that like made them the best volleyball players in the world, which again, very Japanese, I feel like.
Wow.
Yeah, totally.
I love it. So are you going on tour with this book?
I am, yeah. I'm here in New York today and tomorrow. I'll be in Toronto, then DC, Atlanta, and Nashville. So if you are in any of those cities, I will be there, and I would love to see you. Yeah.
Sounds rad.
And you got a couple other projects coming out later in the year, right?
Yes. So I'm also a writer at Insomniac Games.
They're just having an okay year,
I don't
honestly.
know if you guys are familiar with them at
Mildly.
all.
I mean, I hear there's a game called Marvel's Spider-Man for PlayStation 4.
It's true. So I'm very fortunate to be working on the DLC for Marvel Spider-Man.
I feel like you should have a protection squad around you. You just openly said in public at Comic-Con, "Hi, I'm working on the DLC for Spider-Man." It's like pretty much the thing that everyone wants to know about.
I know. Well, I can tell you that there is DLC. So great.
DLC confirmed. You heard it here first.
DLC confirmed. No, I've been working on Turf Wars, which is the DLC that's out in November.
Yep.
So keep an eye out for that. But first, in October, we have the Black Cat DLC coming out, The Heist, which I'm so excited about. The writers on the main game were on that. It's awesome. And, like, how great is Felicia as a character?
She's
So
and in
good.
the game, she's so good. Like, so I'm
So
obsessed with the
good.
game. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. It is what takes up hours of my time.
Yeah.
I love whipping around the city, but the black cats, finding the cats, hearing Felicia's voice,
Yes.
little sultry comes, and the suit.
I'm so glad
many-
you brought up
so
the suit.
so obsessed.
Her outfit is so good.
So
and
wait, we have somebody who
practical.
really
Oh
wants
my
to come
gosh.
meet you. Lorraine Steen!
Lorraine! This is what Comic-Con's all about,
Hi,
folks.
buddy.
Friends hanging out.
Amazing.
No,
Because I want
totally
to spend
fine.
time with you.
I'm
So happy to see you.
We were just
Not
talking
that y'all aren't
about
great.
Marvel's Spider-Man for PlayStation 4 and how great Black Cat was.
Yes.
Speaking of great women in comics.
This one right here.
Hey.
Yeah, amazing. Speaking of great women in comics, you teed me up for that, and then I lost it. But I just want to acknowledge you did a great job with that segue. Yes, I also wrote a book for DK with Marvel.
Yeah.
It's coming out December 18th. It's called Marvel Fearless and Fantastic, and it's all about all of Marvel's different awesome female characters, all the amazing female superheroes that you guys have. So I got to write about everybody from Shuri and Black Widow and people that lots of characters that lots of people know about to more kind of like niche characters like Echo, who is
Yes.
a blind Latina superhero who's
Montoya.
awesome, so great, and just kind of like dove deep on some of Marvel's most interesting and
AKA
inspiring women.
AKA the first Ronin.
The
Just
first
like
round,
a
yeah,
big deal.
totally.
Yes.
Japan, yeah, absolutely. So It was such a blast.
Yeah.
What, can you catch me up? What have you guys covered? Have you talked about that Sam is a space witch?
Wait, time out.
Excuse me?
I need to have a moment.
Yeah,
The
who
words
wrote
that I
these
thought
notes?
I heard you say were space and witch.
Yeah.
That's like my dream self, I feel. Like if I could project myself into any
You
state of
literally.
being.
There was a T-shirt made by an actual company.
Yeah.
It is like the Sam Mag shirt.
Yeah. I'm wearing one of my shirts
yeah.
right now. It says
Yeah.
complex female character on it. Jordan
like
Tanay
it.
is like
Yeah,
a wonderful
he's
creator,
amazing.
also from New York City, makes shirts. So yes, you can get a space witch or a complex female character or a clever girl shirt if you're a Jurassic Park fan.
Well, also
man, my
Sam
gal.
Mag's
I
huge
love that.
Jurassic
Yeah.
Park fan.
so good, which I am, yeah, because I'm a big
Well-
Goldblumophile.
Yeah.
Is that a weird thing to
No,
say?
no. Are you? So, how do you feel about
It's
the Grand?
Comic-Con.
Yeah, there's nothing
Grandmaster.
weird to say.
The Grandmaster, oh my gosh, y'all. As if I hadn't already been so excited about Thor Ragnarok because of Taika Waititi and Chris Hemsworth, like whole face and body and personality. Like, then to put Jeff Goldblum into the mix, and he was so good. Like,
I mean, he basically
perfect.
played himself, though. That's the greatest
yeah,
part
I mean,
about
that's
it.
very.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff Goldblum, can you just come dress up and play yourself?
With eyeshadow.
Oh.
All we're asking you to do is wear eyeshadow.
And
Just
like
be yourself.
I
Yeah.
love
Just a little accent.
Yeah.
Like all the little shorts that they did
Oh,
with
yeah.
like, and the one that he was in as with the roommate was so good. Like,
Oh, yeah. He's
such
amazing.
a big fan.
We have a Jeff Goldblum pillow in my bed that's like double sized
Is
of a
it
normal
the
pillow.
Whoa.
shirtless Jeff Goldblum panting post
No,
Jurassic Park?
he's got some sort of
That is
sunset
the-
behind him. I think it was poorly
Whoa.
photoshopped, but it's great.
I think
Like,
there's a shower curtain of that too, and
it's
I
that
really
one.
want
It's that one. Super
one.
dreamy looking.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, all.
Yeah, I wake up
I'm so
next to him every
dreamy.
morning.
Amazing. I love that.
I am
love
learning
that.
so much about you right now, Justin.
What can I say?
But yeah, I'm so happy to hear too that you loved the Spider-Man game. It's
Yeah.
so fun to swing around New York. I was in front of the Empire State Building yesterday, and my first thought, I looked at it, and I was like, oh, I was up there the other day. And then I was like, no, I wasn't. I was Spider-Man, and I was up there the other day.
But that's
That
the
was,
great
my first
thing
thought, 'cause
about
it's
the
so
game.
real looking.
Yes.
When
They
I
did an
first
amazing job.
when I first started playing the game, so I've tested it here and I was like, this is fun. But then when I got it, I realized that while I was sitting in the chair doing it, I kept doing this to like, because like when you're a kid, you kick your legs out
Yeah.
to swing harder. And so everybody was like watching me play the game. They're like, dude, are you okay? And I'm like, what?
But the thing that nobody told you was Spider-Man for PS4, great ab work. Like
Yeah.
great
Yeah, there you go.
workout.
Yeah.
right there.
It is a
You
total
fit like Peter.
body workout.
Yeah.
Eight pack in the making.
You're going to get a great
Done.
movie, a great game, some great abs. It's
And great
everything that
stories.
you ever wanted.
Oh, thank you. Hey, yeah, I really hope everybody loves the heist and turf wars and our third DLC as much as I have enjoyed working on them.
Yeah.
It's such a passionate and wonderful and talented team making this game, and I feel so lucky to be there. So, it's been really nice to see everybody be so excited about it.
Is there a big difference in like your mental process or how one? So I can make food. That's what I do. But you can make stories and
I can't make food, so
You can tell stories. Great. All right.
They're a
That's what I'm here
perfect
for.
pair.
So, is there a huge difference in making stories for video games as opposed to making stories for print?
That's a great question. I think nailed
Waiting
it.
for that.
Nailed it.
You've made his day.
A good story is a good story, I think, in no matter the genre, be it comic books, movies, video games. They all have conflict. Great. I think for me, what great stories really come down to is great characters. That kind of carries across everything. The fundamentals of storytelling are the same. But with games, you have a lot of extra writing that you don't have in a lot of other mediums. Like, think about all the people you walk by on the street in the game who are having, organic conversations with each other. Or if you played the game like in Feast, there's the two people who are having the conversation over the chessboard, and they have a whole story and relationship. And, what people yell at you while you're fighting them, like all of that is scripted. So there's a lot of extra writing work that goes into making a game that, is not a part of making something like a comic book. It's why games like Marvel's Spider-Man have, something like 900,000 words in them, where a typical novel, my books are like 60,000 words. So that
Right.
gives you an example of like how the volume of writing that goes into making a game is like exceptionally.
Well, that means that everyone who is listening to you right now, who is either playing the game or needs to go play the game,
Yes.
should get busy learning about this story and watching this story. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you
this
guys.
afternoon.
Let it be
This is so great.
I couldn't
Thank
help
you, Lorraine
myself.
Sink, for hopping into the interview with
You
us.
couldn't keep me away. You tried and you could not.